Sometimes it's hard to see the good in the world around us. But I don't want to live there.
There we go. Once we get through 20 of those, guys, we're gonna go 5 inchworm push-ups. So I'm gonna take that back.
I believe there are people in this world who are ready to share their stories and skills with those who are ready to listen. I want to meet these people, learn from them, and take what I learned to live better.
Jared, you're getting it, brother. That was a good one.
This is practical living.
Knock, knock, knock. Hey. How's it going, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for letting me come out.
Absolutely.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Really, I should be asking if I'm ready for
Are
this.
you ready for this? Yeah.
I don't know that I am.
My name is Brandon Garcia. I own CrossFit ELM, and getting into CrossFit for me, started in college. I got a degree in exercise science. I started as a pre-med kid, and then kind of through some different channels decided I'd rather be in prevention than treatment. I found out about CrossFit and just kind of started following it, and like most traditional trainers kind of made fun of it, like, oh, that's not, that's silly, they're doing crazy things, I don't need to do that. But then I got intrigued by a few things, and so I took the scientist approach. I was like, all right, let's test this. Let's really actually put up an experiment. So I got with a few of my personal training clients, and I said, hey, will you be data points for me? I'm gonna do this too, and you guys do it, and we'll compare notes. And we get about 3-4 workouts into it, and we all kind of decided, no, this is how we're working out from now on. The cool thing about CrossFit is, like, we believe that we are the machines. Okay. So we do basically all body weight and free weight stuff. Now we do have bikes and rowers for some cardio aspects,
Sure.
But we use
Where's your dog food?
kettlebells and dumbbells. Dog food?
Yeah, you gotta lift the dog food, right?
That's right, yeah. We have used sandbags in the past.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But dumbbells and kettlebells get used pretty often. Kind of the cool part about using dumbbells is it makes you work on, like, if you have a weak side, now you find out.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with a kettlebell.
Yeah.
You find out.
My left side.
Yeah, me too. Plates wise, so weight plates, we use, so CrossFit gets like kind of made fun of for it, but in the world of CrossFit, we use rubber floors and rubber plates for safety.
Sure.
We're doing complex movements with people who have never done complex movements before.
I liked using the rubber because even putting it on, I didn't feel like I was gonna smash my fingers.
Right. Yeah. But what ends up happening is, like, even seasoned athletes, like I've had this happen before, where like you go to pick up a weight and you're just out of position and a muscle tweaks.
Yeah.
Drop the weight.
Yeah.
And if you're using plates, it's much safer. Or like these rubber plates, it's much safer.
For sure.
So yeah, as new people come in, like, we get people in our gym that would never in a million years go to a gym, but we've built a reputation of, like, being able to walk a brand new person from off the couch to confident in their body. And so when you first step into a gym, if I tell you, hey, go grab a 15-pound barbell, you're gonna look at me and go, what? So we color-coded all our barbells. So all the red ones are 15 pounds, and it's all about, let's learn the technique with a lighter weight, right? Yellow ones, these are standard women's Olympic lifting barbells. And the reason there's a difference between women's and men's is this actual bar for women is a little bit smaller because they have typically smaller hands. So, but it's what they use. They standardized it in the Olympics, and so and some women find it helpful.
And how much does it weigh?
So the women's bar is 35,
Okay.
and then the standard men's bars are 45 pounds.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then you get, if you go anywhere outside the U.S., everything's in kilos.
Right.
We use freedom fractions here, so.
I like it. So is there different in your color coded for your?
Yeah, all the tape, all the color coding, on the tape on these handles is a different length of rope, so it fits different heights.
Okay.
Right? Because you want to have an appropriate length for jump rope. So jump rope is something we do for a lot of cardio stuff, especially during the winter.
Yeah.
We can't go outside and run because it's icy.
Yep.
So we jump rope a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was kind of a typical suburban kid, but in a blended family. The guy I call my dad is actually my stepdad, but he married my mom when I was like 2. Home life for us was pretty treacherous. Dad was he was a great provider, and that's kind of where that ended because he didn't understand what it meant to be a dad. And looking back on that now, I see that. But in the moment, you think, "Oh man, this guy's horrible." And so I grew up around a lot of violence, and that pushed me to just kind of try to keep my head down, stay out of his way. One of the things that I did to get out away from home was get into youth group and things like that. So I got connected to a church, and I had faith, but I didn't really understand what it meant. I was just at youth group and having fun, and there were some good youth pastors that invested in me over those years. And it's one of those things you don't realize how important those things are until you look back on them. You're like, oh, that made a huge difference. Through all of that, I became this person that was I have to do everything on my own all the time, which I think has cultivated this coaching persona in me. This aspect of, because I have to figure out, not anymore, but I had to for so long figure everything out on my own. I have this feeling of, I don't want people to have to try and figure that out on their own. I want them to know that they have somebody that will stand with them. And I might not know, but at least I'm going to walk with you.
Oh, we're doing it.
Just do it.
It's happening.
You're in the fire now, sir.
All right.
Okay, so I just said rubber plates, rubber floors for safety.
So when you drop it?
So at any point, if this lift feels wonky, something doesn't feel right, you feel something tweak, let go of the bar, let it hit the ground. I'd rather the bar hit the ground than you.
Got it.
Okay. So now you have a true to life feel to this process. So you're gonna step to the bar.
Okay. Can I move forward a little?
Yeah, come this way. Okay.
You're still.
And then come down into your position. Now we're gonna adjust this just a little bit. So come down in your position for me. Okay. I'm gonna sweep this back. This stays behind the ball of your foot always. Okay.
That's stupid.
Sweep that back. Okay. Right here. Feel that tension right back here, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you lead, when you go to stand up, grab your bar. Okay. Give me that pinch. Okay. When you lead, I want your chest to lead you through this whole movement. Okay. Ready? Go. Jump and go. Ta-da! You just did it clean. Okay. Come back down. Do 4 more, just like that, without weight. Okay.
Is that right?
Yep, nice and smooth up. Jump. Oh. There you go, Jared. You're doing cleans, bro.
It hurts.
So when you come up, that bar comes up, right?
Yeah.
And it turns, and you're doing a good job turning here. I want you to think about more catching the bar with your body than your wrist, and it'll hurt less. Okay? So
on your chest?
On your shoulders.
On your shoulders.
Catch it here.
Okay.
And when you catch, absorb with your hips.
Okay.
Okay. So when that bar turns over, I'm trying to sit on a stool.
Okay.
Okay. Go. So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead and drop the bar for me. So that's what I'm saying. When you catch, if you catch like this, it'll take you.
Yeah.
But if you catch like this,
okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's.
So when you jump, I want you to sit on a stool.
I mean, I feel like I'm sitting on a stool, but
your hips are way forward.
Oh.
Okay. Ah, there it is.
Okay.
So your hips always end up behind you.
Okay, behind you.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Here comes the perfect one. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Coming up. Jump. That was your best one so far. That was a good one.
How many have I done?
That was 5.
Oh, so over there?
Yep. So set that down. Okay. So the cool thing about cleans is there's like this magic land where a little bit of weight actually helps me feel the movement better.
Yeah.
And then you get to a way where it's too much and now it really sucks.
Sure.
So we're gonna try and stay in the magic space today. Okay, so we're gonna take small jumps.
Got it.
So next set of 5, I want you to just add the 2.5, which is the smallest one.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna just kind of baby step your way up in these other sets. You know, because of all of the different things that I grew up with in the home, right? At a young age, I started really struggling with depression. I think I was 12 maybe when I started first like thinking about, you know, if I just wasn't here, everything would be better. And then between the ages of 15 and 20, I attempted suicide 3 different times. And all 3 times it was like God's hand was there. It was somebody walked in the room at the right moment, or somebody found me, you know, passed out at the right moment to bring me out of that. And so coming through those ups and downs of depression, like you have these moments where you wake up and it's just like the world is against you and it's just better if I'm not here. And then you have those days you wake up and everything's fine. And it almost makes it worse because you don't know, like, okay, I'm going to bed tonight, how am I gonna wake up tomorrow? And, you know, even now, like, it's been several years since I've had one of those mornings, but I mean, you know, I'm 40 now and you still have those moments where like you wake up and it's like, wow, where did this come from? And it's you're back in that pit again. And so, you know, coming through that, like that was, when I got into youth ministry, like that was one of the things that made it really easy for me to connect with those kids, is like every teenager goes through stuff like that, some to worse degrees than others because of home life or because of something that happened to them in their life. And so being able to walk them through that and be like, dude, I know what that feels like. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to like placate you. Like I literally know. I've been there. I've attempted suicide. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be in that pit where it feels like there's no way out. And so getting to walk, you know, kids through stuff like that is, again, it's one of those things you look back on. It's like God let me go through that. He let that pass through his hands so that I could speak that into those kids and say, hey, you don't have to be there, because there are other people that have walked through that and they'll walk with you through this valley. That's kind of the cool part about CrossFit is, so CrossFit is constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity. So the constant variance is, you'll have days like today where it's nothing but barbell.
Say everything you just said again.
Constantly varied functional movement.
Okay. So it doesn't spell out cross or something.
No.
I was trying to make the words work, and I'm like,
no, it's like, it seems like an acronym, but no. So like we'll have days like today where it's just pure heavy barbell, no sweat. Some days there's no barbell and it's all body weight stuff or all cardio stuff. Sure. Some days it's a mixture. We're gonna have like tomorrow our workout.
Do the same thing in every class?
Yes.
Okay.
So this workout is the same the whole day.
Got it.
Right.
So you're not like varying. Okay.
Not varying class to class.
Because then you have different levels of people that can come because you're just changing how much weight you're adding.
Right. So tomorrow the workout is something called overhead squats and then double unders, right? So overhead squats is you're gonna take a barbell, you're gonna put it overhead, and you're gonna do a squat with it.
Okay.
Okay. Which is it's one of the most difficult things we do. And then double unders is jump rope, but every time you jump, it's got to pass under you twice.
Okay.
So it's a lot of cardio. So there's some weightlifting, some cardio, right? Well, not everybody is really great at overhead squats, and some people have like shoulder limitations or hip limitations or back limitations where an overhead squat is not possible.
Sure.
So within a class like this, right, I might have somebody like you brand new, right? Well, they're not to overhead squats yet, so I'm gonna have you do a front squat instead, right? And you haven't learned jump rope yet, or maybe you know how to jump rope, but double unders aren't there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna adjust that per person in class, because part of this,
And everyone points at him and laughs at him.
no, yeah. So that's one of the things that drew me away from traditional training into CrossFit. Is it was like this, like the seasoned athletes saw the beginner, and when the beginner gets frustrated, they like, dude, I was there 2 years ago. You'll get there. Give yourself time. And it's me as a coach, I can tell you that 100 times. As soon as somebody else in class tells you that, it feels different.
Yeah.
And so like, you have all of these really experienced, like this class, out of this class one that just left, he's the newest. All the rest of them are at least 5 years into this.
Okay.
Right? And Laura and Dre, Laura's 9 years deep, Dre is 11 years deep. Like they're really seasoned athletes, right? And I'm still coaching them because they can still get better.
Sure.
But then like in a workout like tomorrow's workout, for somebody that's new like you or Juan, like that's gonna be a really frustrating workout. Having one of them just say, hey dude, you got this in the middle of class has a different effect than me as a coach saying that, right? I can fix your technique and I can help you believe in yourself a little bit, but if your classmate says it, it hits a little different. My faith as a businessman is massive. It's one of those things that, you know, as we move forward as a business, it's like my constant connection to God, just like, hey man, I'm doing this, you know, am I going the right direction? Am I going the right direction? And you know, I have this, I personally have a really great connection with God, and he's real clear with me when I'm not doing something that he's needing me to do, or if I'm doing something, he's like, no, we're not doing that. So it's kind of cool. Like I spend a lot of time with God all the time. And the cool thing is like coming out of youth ministry and focusing only on the business side of it. It was difficult because I was going to miss the ministry part of it, but I had already started turning this into my own ministry. I've had more conversations about what my faith means to me with people who are non-believers in this setting than I ever did in ministry. Because the crowd we get in a CrossFit gym is so broad. And so I get to have those conversations because they find out like, oh, you were a youth pastor. Like, oh, I just cussed. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. And I'm like, listen, don't worry about that. I talked to Jesus. We're good. But he's using this as a mission field for me. And I get to have that conversation of like, listen, my connection to Jesus is more about how I conduct myself and how I treat you guys and love you guys. And so every time we make a decision in our business, it goes through that filter of is this a decision that would reflect my relationship with Jesus well? And in fact, it's like our business focus, right? It's Galatians 6:9. It's like, don't give up doing good, because if you keep doing good, you'll reap a harvest of blessing. And it's one of those, for me, it's like that focus point of just keep doing good and the blessing will show itself. And the blessing comes for me in the form of like, we have people here who, you know, they were sick or they were hurting or both, you know, physically or mentally or spiritually. They come in here in this really broken place, and we use something simple like exercise to change people. Like, yeah, it changes you physically, but it's not just physically. It's a spiritual experience, and you don't think so until you're in the middle of a really hard workout, but it becomes spiritual. Yeah, and so then so CrossFit's theory of developing an athlete is you have to have good nutrition first, then good cardio, right? Then good gymnastics. Gymnastics is control of you, your own body. So that includes sit-ups and push-ups and squats and pull-ups, which is everybody's nemesis. and learning to climb a rope. And we have a lot of people here who have looked at the rope and gone, there's never in a million years I'm going to the top of that. And then we get them to the top of the rope. So
What is the proper technique?
there's a couple of tricks, but it really essentially comes down to, can you lock your feet into a rope?
Okay.
So,
Because with a rope, are you trying to use your feet to put, as opposed to pulling with your arms?
right. So
Okay.
your arms can pull, but if you lock your feet in right,
Yeah.
you won't fall off the rope.
Yeah. Is it bad to race?
No.
Do you want to race?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. I feel like this was a bad choice to race you in this. The more we talk about it.
Ready?
Yeah.
You call it.
Hold on. I got to get my technique real quick. Up and.
Yep, just like that.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Ready? Go. Did I win? I didn't.
Nice. But dude, see, you did that almost with just arms.
I did.
That's crazy. That's hard to do.
I told them in elementary school I was a killer rope climber.
Yeah.
But I also was only like 30 pounds. So.
And my connection with Jesus is one that helps me walk these folks through stuff like that in a way that loves them, but like it's never like, hey, you know, Jesus said, like that's not how I approach that. It's just like, I'm gonna love you, and then if you want to talk about Jesus, we'll talk about it. But like my relationship, and then my wife and I together, like our relationship with God and the way we try to model the way we conduct ourselves, we really try hard to make sure that we make decisions that reflect Him, and we try to use our business in ways that are gonna do that well and serve His people well.